world, and welcome back to Real Talk with ReZsaun, where nothing's off limits. I am your host, ReZsaun Lewis. Thank you for joining me today. Now, here on Real Talk, everything is debatable. So, on any given week, we could be discussing anything from music to sports to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, let's get it cracking. Yeah, the music that you're hearing is by my good boy, my good homeboy, Digga Jones, aka Daniel Laurie. I saw him at the Shoney's today. Love this track. It's called Jazz Lounge. Sets the mood for what I'm trying to do as a show. So those who are new in the show, I break the show down into sections. The first part of this show is current events and topics. The second segment is normally my relationships and family segment. Then I follow it by an audience question segment. I got a feeling I got a few people in here that might want to call in. So if you do want to call in, the time I will open up the lines at 7:30, and the number is 843-900-6847. That's 843-900-6847. And the lines will be open around 8:30. All right. So let's get into it. So I want to go ahead and get this out the way. Shout out to the Kansas Jayhawks for a great win today against my Duke Blue Devils. That's why the show got started late. For those who don't know, I am a major Duke Blue Devil fan, and we took an L tonight, man. Like we took that L, and that's okay. I see my homeboy Brooks in here, so I know he's gonna have lots of things to say about this. The March Madness tournament has been underway, and we've had a really good tournament up to this point. Like I said, Duke did lose tonight to Kansas, a very good Kansas team that came out and did what they're supposed to do. They won the game. Game went to overtime. It was a large back and forth. Lots of league changes. I don't know how many exactly, but the kid Newman from Kansas played his butt off. There were people who fouled out. Azubuike fouled out. We had a shot to win it at the end of regulation. They couldn't get the ball in the hole. So that's what happens. When you play. We made it to the Elite Eight. We lost in the Elite Eight. And we're not going to the Final Four, so we don't have a chance at the championship. But great game. Shout out to my Duke Blue Devils. Shout out to Blue Nation. If you're a Duke fan, no matter what Tar Heel fans might try to tell you. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna have to get out this early because I got to make sure I get out of here in time for the Tar Heel game. Make sure that I catch that game. I got to check the schedule to make sure I know what time it comes on. Anyway, that's enough digs at them. But yeah, shout out to Kansas, man. Kansas played a great game. Got a win, and they're moving on to the Final Four. Well-deserved. Coach Bill Self, big things. Newman, those guys, they have a great opportunity, a great chance to probably win it all. Loyola Chicago. Shout out to Loyola Chicago. They also came up with a great win this weekend. I mean, they're in the Final Four, and I believe they're the first team from their division, I believe it's Mountain West Division, to make it to the Final Four since 2007 or 2008. They're amazing. And they have the sister Jean, the 98-year-old nun who's been following them from game to game to game. And they've been an excellent story to follow. Actually, I've really enjoyed watching them as the tournament's going on. The tournament's had some really good moments. It's had some really good moments, from UMBC beating Virginia to the little guys, all these little guys, these teams that are just continuing to show that those mid majors are not as far away as they maybe once were. They're not nearly as far away as they once were. The distance and the gap is definitely not as wide as it used to be between the haves and the have-nots in college basketball. So I enjoy greatly. I've been enjoying watching the tournament. It's been a really great tournament. Hey, Brooke, it's all love, bro. It's all love. But yeah, I've been really enjoying watching this tournament. I think after watching today, Villanova looks really good. Villanova could possibly take the whole thing. It's going to come down to Villanova and Kansas. And I'm going to say that the difference between Kansas and Duke tonight was definitely the guard play. Guard play was pro Kansas all day long. They had a great game. They just played so well. Nova is killing people. They won today, I believe, by at least 12. And another great game by Villanova. Coach Jay Wright, dude, just a great coach. I think that's Jay Wright. Villanova's coach. It was not Jay Wright, I'm sorry. But they're doing great things in Villanova. So Villanova, I would like to see, this is what I like to see. in a perfect world, is what I want to see. I want to see one of the big teams against Loyola. I want to see Loyola get a chance in the national championship and see how they can do, and maybe pull off one of the greatest upsets in the national championship in history. So that's what I'd like to see. It may not happen, but they've been on a great ride, and I hope their ride continues because they're really interesting to watch. They've done a great job up until this point, and I'm pretty sure that they have nothing hanging their heads up about if they should lose in the next game. I want to move on. We're gonna get my less serious topics out the way, and then maybe move into my more serious topics. But so I don't know if you guys have been following this, but Wendy's has a mixtape. Wendy's has a mixtape. Let me share this out. Tell people we're gonna talk about the Wendy's mixtape because this is something that needs to be known. Wendy's has a mixtape. Right? So I think it was yesterday or the day before. I was flipping through my Twitter, my Facebook, and I saw that a lot of people were talking about the fact that Wendy's had put out some kind of like diss track or something like that about McDonald's and Burger King, and I was like, nah, that can't be a real thing. And then like I listened to it, right? I don't know if y'all have heard this, man, but this Wendy's mixtape is kind of dope. It is kind of dope. Let me pull it up for you guys because they have some like a song called 444, and like the beats are banging. So I'm gonna play a little bit for you guys so y'all can hear. It's crazy. There's the 444 chant. Let's see if y'all can hear this. Now this is Wendy's, y'all.
That make the best. 444 forget the rest.
They're singing about a 444 combo.
444 that make the best.
Like who does that?
444 forget the rest. 444 you getting blessed. Yeah. You can pull up and come get that. It's versatile. Dinner meals or even quick snacks. The best you ever had, that's there.
Shout out to this young lady rapping.
Competition tired. Like they just printed 6 left on 16 quarters. Come with 4 items, you can get that. A fries, burger, nuggets, and a drink come with that. The sauce is dripping. If you will it, then you can get that. Queen Wendy the illest, yeah, I said it, boy, don't forget that.
And then they go back to the hook. So that's just one song, right? Like that, like it's crazy that somebody, like, first of all, shout out to Wendy's for being different, right? Everybody's running commercials all these years. They've been throwing shade at one another. You get the McDonald's commercials where they talk about, what's going on at other restaurants and stuff. And Wendy's out here calling names, son. Wendy's is calling names. And then their Twitter, if you go to their Twitter, they're like literally like posting pictures of Wendy, of like the Big Mac, like how it actually looks as opposed to what the commercial says it's supposed to look like. And it's really insane that whoever thought of that marketing strategy, applaud to you. Like you deserve a big ups because that's pretty creative. That is pretty creative. I marvel at it. It's really amazing that somebody thought of that. Whoever thought of that marketing strategy to drop a mixtape with 6 songs just dissing other fast food restaurants. I haven't been to Wendy's in years. I'm about to go pull up and get me a Frosty on the strength of the fact that they have the best marketing strategy in the game. I don't care. They have the best marketing team in the game. You can take. Let me turn that down. Sorry. Yeah, but so shout out to Wendy's for that, man. It's kind of crazy, and it's like all of the beats are bananas. All the beats are bananas. So yesterday on my Twitter, I made a post that said, I need whoever the producer is who made these Wendy's tracks to step forward and take a bow. And some guy named @6SYXX liked it. So I'm wondering if that's him. I wonder if he's the guy who made it. I didn't actually think to reply and ask him. But yeah, man, like Wendy's out here dissing people, man. Yeah, 6SIXX. So He liked my tweet. I don't know if it's him that made it, but shout out to them because they made those beats are bananas. Like it's really, really good. Cool. So we talked about Wendy's. We talked about March Madness. McDonald's, you on the clock. Burger King, you on the clock. Just want to put that out there. Checkers, you better get in. If you don't want to get like caught out here bad, you're on the clock. You're on the clock. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. I need something back in 72 hours, or they're gonna give you the Nicki Minaj treatment. Like you got to get the Nicki Minaj treatment. If you don't reply, then I'm gonna have to clown you a little bit. All right, but it is funny. It is funny. That's what's up. So so that was good. You know that we got that out the way as far as the Wendy's thing. Y'all, if y'all haven't heard that mixtape, y'all need to hear it. It's dope. Another thing that I heard that was interesting was Snoop Dogg has a gospel album. Have y'all heard this? Snoop Dogg has a gospel album. I'm sorry, I gotta keep sharing stuff. But Snoop Dogg has a gospel album, and on this gospel album, it's actually not bad. So on this gospel album, he has people like Marvin Sapp, Ty Tribbett, Charlie Wilson, because it's Snoop. I believe KC from KC and Jodeci is on there. It's a lot of artists. The Clark sisters is on it, and it's actually pretty. It's not bad. You would think that it might be bad because it's Snoop Dogg doing gospel music, but it's not bad at all. I definitely would recommend anybody. I mean, I would check it out. If you're a gospel fan, check it out, and you may get something out of it. And I saw an interview. Shout out to Mike London. I gotta make sure I give him props for talking about that. But for posting it. Mike London was in Vegas for the Stellars this weekend, I believe, and he went to I guess it was a live talk where Snoop was talking about the gospel album, and I'm sorry, I'm sharing this out. And Snoop Dogg was talking about the gospel album, and he was saying that he's done so much to lead people the wrong way, but he was hoping that maybe with this he'd be able to lead some people to the light. So if that's his goal and that's his aim, like by all means, man, you do it, man. Shout out to you because it doesn't, we gotta lead more people to the light. Whatever it takes. Sometimes, ReZsaun Lewis wasn't always somebody who was out here, uplifting the people, to be honest with you. But at some point, my life changed, and I was able to uplift other people. Maybe Snoop's in that place in his life where he's like, you know what? I want to make other people, find God. I want to help make other people, feel better about themselves. I want to uplift people. And if that's what he's doing, and that's what God, in the place that God's got him at, then who are we to judge him? Who are we to tell him that he can't? So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody who wasn't too holy roly to step on a track with Snoop Doggy Dogg. I mean, because I'm pretty sure they're getting negative backlash in the community from people who are saying, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. We have many scriptures that speak to being separated because of your holiness. But the truth is, and the way I look at it is, how can we impact people if the only people we talk to are people who think like us? How can we expect different results doing the same thing over and over again? And at some point, we started losing people in the church, and I want to make sure that we are, that in the body of Christ, that's something I care about, is bringing people to the body of Christ and not scaring them away. So shout out to Snoop Dogg for taking that shot, taking that chance, and shout out to those artists for being strong enough. Molly Music's on the album twice. He has his own set of circumstances that he's dealing with right now, but shout out to him for just for them for taking that chance and being on the Snoop Dogg gospel album. I think it's actually pretty decent. It's a good listen. My homeboy Digger Jones, who made the track, who actually was the one who called me and said, hey, you need to listen to the Snoop Dogg track, the Snoop Dogg gospel album. And I literally laughed at him. I was like, dude, I don't know about this. And then I listened to it. Isaac Carree. Isaac Carree's on the album too. It's a pretty dope album. It's a pretty dope album. What's up, Katie Blanchard? What's up, Brian? I see you. And of course, Toya. It's a pretty dope album. I liked it. And I'll probably listen to it again, especially a few songs. There's some songs I don't like. I'm not gonna say that the whole thing's a banger, but the message is there. The music is there, and it's definitely worth the listen. They did a remix of the Had It Not Been for the Lord, Clark Sisters joint. It could have been me. It should have been me, and it was really dope, really, really dope. Anyway, so if you haven't heard it, check it out. It's pretty dope. Moving on. So, for those who don't know, tonight on 60 Minutes, Stormy Daniels, porn star or former porn star. I don't know if she's a retired porn star. Or she's that's quite a transition, right? Let me go back to that. Snoop Dogg gospel album to our president with the porn stars. Let me go ahead. Let me ring that up real quick. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Sorry. It is.
What'd he say?
What'd he say? Right. So our president is tangled up with some stuff with porn, either current or former porn star. I don't know if she's retired. I'm not sure the nomenclature when it comes to porn. Like, do you retire from it or do you just stop making videos? Or like, I don't know how that works. But anyway, Stormy Daniels, who excuse me, who was in a relationship with the president, signed a non-disclosure agreement, and now she's on, I believe, 60 Minutes, talking about, she's on 60 Minutes, talking about her affair with President Trump. And just reading a little excerpt from CNN.com, I just posted the article. It says that that in her first extended television interview since the news of her alleged 2006 affair with Donald Trump emerged, adult film actress Stormy Daniels declined to discuss whether she had evidence of the affair and said she was threatened to stay silent about it. She was threatened to stay silent about it. That's not good, Mr. Prez. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. How you feel about it. But he says, a guy walked up to me. Wow. A guy walked up to me and said, "Leave Trump alone. Forget the story." Then he leaned around, looked at my daughter, and said, "That's a beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." And then he was gone. Now, she just said this on 60 Minutes tonight. Wow. That's crazy. So if somebody is out here threatening this young lady about, her daughter or something happening to her child because of something that she's saying about President Trump, then non-disclosure agreements be damned, to be honest with you. Like, tell your story, and if something were to happen to you, at least people know that you put it out there and you were being honest. But again, another scandal, and I believe it was another young lady that just came out this week and said that she was in a relationship with the president during his marriage as well. Now, by all means, it's not my place to get into people's family business because people have their own individual situations, cheating here and there and all of that stuff. But you can't be the president of the United States and cheating on your wife with porn stars, man. That's just that's something we haven't seen since Kennedy. Like, you can't be doing that, Prez. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not your biggest fan, but golly, that's and the crazy thing to me is this. And this is sort of where it gets to me. It gets to me when we're in a place where just 3-4 years ago, people were outraged because Michelle Obama wore a shirt with a sleeveless dress. But those same people have are talking over and have absolutely no issue with the president having an affair on his wife with a porn star, multiple porn stars, because apparently there's 2 more other young ladies out there who also signed non-disclosure agreements. So, I mean, ride for who you ride for. It's not for me to tell you who to align your politics with, because that's a whole nother issue for another day. But understand that if you were out here bashing President Obama for wearing a tan suit 3-4 years ago, if you're out here bashing, you out here drawing caricatures of President Obama as a terrorist and Lady Michelle Obama as this terrible, disgusting person, then you should have a lot to say right now. This should be your time to step up and say, "See, I'm consistent. I don't like this. I'm just for right is right and wrong is wrong, and this is but you can't overlook these things and then tell me, "Oh, well, I'm just calling things the way I see it," because you're not. You're not being equal. You're not being I mean, we went through 8 years. 8 years of the Obama presidency, and the biggest scandals were he wore a tan suit. He didn't put his hand over his heart. No, he didn't have a pen. And he had a pastor that y'all didn't like. Just saying. I'm just saying. Those are the things that we got caught up on. So I'm not tripping on that. You know, if you're not tripping on it, I'm not tripping on it. But understand that, you know, it is what it is, and you have to call a thing what it is. Call a thing what it is, and that's always my issue with people's consistency when it comes to calling a thing what it is. Yeah, man. So that's really where I fall on that. And again, it's not to call anybody's politics or tell you that you're, you know, that you're backing the wrong whatever person or whatever. But it's just I'm always just trying to get people to consider what are our motivations. What is your motivation when you're overlooking certain things and letting certain things be okay, and then you have problems with everything else? I'm pretty sure that if it came out that President Obama had multiple affairs on his wife while she was pregnant, there'd be problems, right? We'd have issues, right? Right? Can we just agree on that? Can we just agree that there would be issues that if we found out that there, even right now, he's not even the president right now, but if we found out that during President Obama's presidency, he had an affair on Michelle, I'd be upset with him. Even if you wouldn't, I'd be upset with him. So, you know, whatever. Um, yeah. So that's that. I mean, I'm not, you know, again, I'm not here to do that with you guys. Apparently, another thing that's happening with our president is that there was a spending bill that was passed that he signed this week. What's going on, Tasha? There's a bill that a spending bill that he signed this week that he was not very happy about. Now, mind you, remember that he's the president. Remember that he's the president, and he's upset with somebody else because he signed something. So let's read this. It's from CNN, www.cnn.com. Shout out to them for the article. Donald Trump signed a $1.3 trillion spending bill to keep the federal government open Friday behind closed doors, then emerged to excoriate Congress for passing the legislation in the first place. First point, we have a what? We have a majority Republican Congress, right? So them your folks, ain't they, Prez? So he says there are a lot of things I'm unhappy about in this bill. There are a lot of things that we shouldn't have had in this bill, but we are in a sense forced if we want to build our military. Trump said, "I said to Congress, I will never sign another bill like this again." You didn't have to sign this one. You didn't have to sign this one, but you did. And it was written and pushed by a Republican Congress. We have a Republican Senate. We have a Republican House of Representatives. So guess who you can't blame for this one? The liberal media. Can't blame them. Can't blame liberals. Can't blame the liberal media. I even hate those terms. I hate the fact that I even use that term. It's probably the last time you'll ever hear me use it on this show. But apparently he has a problem with the spending bill, and you know, more power to him if that's what he wants to do. But that's him. It's his Congress. It's his Congress. It's the Congress. It's a Republican Congress, Republican presidency, and I believe the Supreme Court is also leaning conservative or Republican as well. So that's that, man. I mean, that's that, which sucks, but you know, but hey, that's the world that we live in, and I'm not mad at it because it's we need things like that to happen so we can understand what's going on in our country. And again, I want to make sure that people understand that I am pro knowledge, pro educate yourself. If anytime I talk about something on my show, I always post a link so you guys can go, you can follow the link and see, you know, you can start making your finding your information out via those links, or find some other links and suggest them to me. Let's create a dialogue. Let's create a back and forth where we can discuss these things in a meaningful way, where it's not name calling and it's not bashing, but it's really trying to find an understanding of one another and where we stand as a people. Because the more we search for that understanding, the more we speak to find that understanding between us as a people, the more likely we are to come to an understanding that to make this world a better place. We got to make this world a better place. And for our kids, for our elderly, for our seniors, for everybody. All right. So that's all I have for that stuff as far as current event topics. I wanted to talk to you guys about something as well, about something that happened to me. And if you saw my feed, if you're one of my on my actual Facebook page, you saw that I made a video yesterday about an event that I was involved in this weekend, which was Toastmasters. Shout out to Toastmasters International. I love Toastmasters. It's like been a really great thing for me to help me with my public speaking and everything like that. And so this weekend I was in a speech competition, and I didn't win. I think I thought I did pretty well, but I didn't win. And you know, you don't win everything. But the cool thing from it, and this is sort of how it's going to tie into my family or relationship topic for today, is I'm sorry, I want to just go ahead and go through the story and then I'll tell you how I'll tie it in. So I did the event. My daughter came, my grandmother came, shout out to my grandma, E-Ray Cape was in the building. My father, Herbert Jenkins, shout out to E-Pop. And my wife, my beautiful, beautiful rock of a wife was there. And I did the speech. I got up there, I gave the speech the best I know how. I put my heart into it, I put my soul into it. I didn't forget any of my words, which I appreciated, which I really appreciated. And I thought I did well enough to at least place. I didn't place. And when that happened, I was sort of taken aback. I was really taken aback because I was like, man, I fought so hard. I did the best I could to try to win this thing. And I didn't. And I was sort of down, and people were coming over to me and after it and saying, hey, I really enjoyed your speech. You're really good. I really enjoyed, I enjoyed your speech. I look forward to hearing more of it. One lady even told me, she said my speech was one of the most inspirational she's ever heard. And that to me was really, it hit me in the heart. It may have hit me in the heart more, now than it did then, because at that point you're like going through disappointment. But actually a gentleman who was the area director came over to me and said, hey, I really enjoyed your speech and I want you to speak at the conference, which was amazing because like he didn't have to do that, things like that don't have to happen. But that wasn't the lesson for me. The lesson for me came later when me and my daughter and my wife went down to eat. Shout out to Isis, my baby. And we were at Jim and Nick's. Shout out to Jim and Nick's. I love Jim and Nick's. If you want to give me a sponsorship, Jim and Nick's, I'll take that right now. But I was at Jim and Nick's with my daughter and we're sitting down eating. She was like, Daddy, I really think you should have won. And it's not fair that you didn't win. And that for me was a great teaching moment. For me, that was a great teaching moment. For me, it would tell my daughter, like, no, look, sometimes you're going to do the best you can. And you may think that you were better than other people, which I'm not saying that I do think that. I'm just saying that sometimes you may think that, and not win. It won't always go your way. You won't always get the things that you want. But there's a lesson in it. There's a lesson in these things if you just take the time to learn them. So we were able to have a discussion about being a gracious non-winner. I don't want to say loser, but and at the end of the day, like I think that's why God allowed that to happen, so I can have that discussion with my daughter, and hopefully one day she'll be in a position where maybe something doesn't go well for her, and instead of getting upset or lashing out, she'll realize that my daddy went through this. And I think that's something we have to do more as a society, is teach our children how to lose graciously. I as a fifth grade teacher, that's one thing I see a lot, is that children nowadays do not know how to lose with grace. It can be something as simple as like playing video games. Like if you're playing video games and they start losing, it's because you're cheating. It's not because it's not because the other person was better than you at the game. It was just that you're cheating naturally. Even as a coach, I mean, somebody who coaches sports, and my other daughter Ariana plays basketball, and you'll hear parents in the crowd screaming about everybody cheating the team that's losing, or everybody's cheating for the other team. Like both sides thinking that everybody's cheating against the other team, and it doesn't make sense, because at some point, what's up, Pan? At some point we have to acknowledge the fact that we're not doing enough to win. And that's a realization I had to come up to, because if I would have won yesterday with what I did, there may be a level that I need to get to that I wouldn't have gotten to if I would have won yesterday. So I'm taking that as a blessing. I'm going to take that as a lesson, a blessing, and a lesson. And I want my daughter as well to take those kind of things and try to take them as a blessing and a lesson. And if we do those things, we teach our children to take those losses with grace, then they'll help get a whole lot more wins. Because when you lose and you blame other people, it's because, oh, well, I didn't do anything wrong. It's them, 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 them. But if I lose and then I look at myself and say, you know what, this is a lesson, I can take it and I can grow from it. And that's the goal, is to continue to grow and learn from our losses that we take in life. So I definitely shout out to Toastmasters, shout out to District 58. I have no issues with what happened. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been able to speak at that event, and I look forward to speaking at the conference in April. So I'm really excited about that, because I'm going to have a pretty big audience, and I'm going to try to make sure I record it on and go live so you guys can check out the speech. It's actually one of my favorite speeches. It's about the power of mentorship, which is something I'm really passionate about. So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are dope. Y'all are dope. But yeah, so that's really all I got tonight. I guess I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna do a open line segment because I got on so late. It's 8:28 right now, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out. So let me cue my music. Sorry. Oh, thanks, Isis. Appreciate it. Another thing with having a daughter is they take your iPad and your iPad with the music on it, and then like they use your iPad over and over and over again to watch videos until it dies, and then they give it right back to you before you start your show. So I don't have any music. But thank you guys for watching. Let me pull up my script. I'm sorry. So thank you guys so much for watching this week. Reminder that this show is now split into 2 parts. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. But this week Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and where I interview my local celebrities, and Sundays at 7 p.m. I do my normal live show. Now this week I'm actually doing my Wednesday show on Tuesday night, and Tuesday night will be a special show with Tramaine, the Songster Hopkins, who's one of my good homeboys, man. We sang in a gospel group together, and now he's doing his solo thing, and he's got an amazing project coming out. I'm really excited about talking to him about it. Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Please make sure you tune in, and because you don't want to be left out because you didn't tune in. In the meantime, please follow me on social media to stay up to date on what's happening with Real Talk. Twitter, I'm at Real Talk ReZsaun. Facebook, I'm at Real Talk with ReZsaun. YouTube, at Real Talk with ReZsaun. Periscope, at Real Talk ReZsaun. And Instagram, I am now on Instagram at Real Talk ReZsaun. So please feel free to leave comments, questions, complaints, whatever you'd like to say in the comment section or the message section. I love reading your messages and getting the feedback, even if it's negative. If you love the show, let me know you love it. Let me know why you love it. Let me know your favorite segments. If you didn't love it, let me know what I'm doing wrong and what I can be better at. I want to get better so I can do a better show for you. In closing, always remember, if a man doesn't stand for something, he'll fall for anything. Now that's Real Talk. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for coming and growing with me. Peace.